Alright, today we're going to talk about the Haldex 90555-365 leveling valve. And obviously most of the time you see me put videos on here, it's because I've screwed up and I made a mess of things. And today is no different. Okay, here is that leveling valve on a Timpte trailer. And it's an easy deal to replace. You've got two bolts right here and nuts. Those are 7/16. And then on the end of the leveling arm, this also is a 7/16. And then there's your piece that gives it the level. And then also back here in the back, that nut right there is a 7/16. Okay, so you've got 7/16, 7/16, 7/16. Easy peasy. The air line's coming out. You've got one in the front, one in the back. Both of them are on quick connects. There you go. Both of them are on quick connects, so that's easy enough. I love quick connects. Mine leaked a little bit when you moved the arm here side to side, and if you'll notice, that is the old leveling valve back on the truck or the trailer. Okay, and what happened here is when I bought this leveling valve, they just handed it to me over the counter, just not in a box, nothing, just handed it to me over the counter and said, there you go. So I put it on the truck. I'm sorry, I put it on the trailer, and I'm here to tell you, they are not preset at the factory. Okay, so you can't just bolt it up and hook it up and let it rock and roll. Now, I had already blown that airbag back there on the left front, and I'd already blown this airbag back here on the left rear on this trailer, because it was riding too high up in the saddles. I mean, when I'd hit my air valve and put air in the bags were at the very top of the saddle, just way too much air. So that's why I bought the leveling valve, because I knew it was leaking air and I knew it was out of adjustment. So I bought a new one and thrown it on there. And when I did that, now I have another new airbag right here. They are not preset out of the factory, and you will blow an airbag. Right there's the proof. Ask me how I know. Luckily, I was not sitting right here in this same position when that sucker blew up, because it blew up in a hurry. So you think when you get an air valve, and here's a leveling valve I bought for the truck, and you see how it comes. It's like I said, this is the one for the truck, not the one we're talking about, but it comes in a box, and it has instructions on what to do, how to set it up, how to make sure you're getting the right adjustment. Well, that one did not. So I made the assumption, and you know what they say about assuming, that little saying, it was a bad deal. So I'm gonna help you out a little bit. Like I said, this is not the new valve. I actually broke the new valve trying to get an adjustment on it. But here is the arm. That is actually the new arm on there. Here is the old arm that sits up here. I quit throwing stuff around, and it's what sits right here. Okay, that's what this piece right here is. And you'll see on this arm, it's got 4 holes in it. And of course, it's got a center one, because that's where the bolt is on it. And it's got 4 holes. So that's your adjustment. You've only got 90 degrees of adjustment. There's up, there's level, and there's down. Well, if it's not, you would think with that much adjustment, it would be close out of the box. It was not. So what you do, if you take this nut here on this side, loosen it up, pull this arm out where it's not in the nipples that are on this piece right here. Pull it out so it flops around and is not in those nipples. And then this piece right here take this arm off, slide it that way. Don't take that nut all the way off. Just take it off enough that you can get that out of the nipples and adjust it with this right here. Get it adjusted where these are where you want them, ride height wise. But move this and you can hear air going in the system, and then you can adjust it to have air coming out of the system. When you get it where you want it, then put the arm back on it. Okay? Put the arm back on it. The arm should be straight across. Okay? Or like this one is. I'm not on level ground, so this is a little bit different. But it should be pretty close. Now, if it's up here or it's like this, then what I did, I went ahead and tightened it all up and got it where I wanted it. But I bent this. This is your other adjustment on this, is this rod. And I'll tell you what I did. I took the top of this off, and I did this early in the game when after it was still riding too high. I took this bolt off and took the pin out of it, and I brought this arm down over that axle and I bent it. I had the arm where it was going way out here and then back in here, and that lowered my ride height until I could get it adjustment up here. When I blew this bag, I was going down the road. So that's what happened to me. So once I got it kind of figured out, I just bent this on arm. If you bend it, then that'll take some ride height out of it. If your arm is going down this way, then lengthening it out will help you gain a little bit of height. But I bent this. Some people cut it. You know, some people get it where they want it, and then they'll cut it and take a piece out of it, or they'll add a piece to it. I don't like having welds in it. To me, that's something else that can break. I'd rather have a solid rod. But I did take this apart, bend it over that axle and make it shorter, and that'll help you. And then obviously if you shorten it too much, I've lengthened this one back out. I took it and bent it back over the front of this brake pod and got it back out pretty straight. But you can see it still has a little bit of a bend in it. I don't have the ride height in it that I wanted. Now, my truck is a Cascadia with a low Pro 22 tire, so it sits very low. This trailer has a tall 22 tire, so I don't want the trailer, back of the trailer up here like that going down the road. You want it level. Well, tire size on the truck and tire size on the trailer are going to make it a little bit different. It's going to give you a little bit rougher ride. So I have bent this to bring the ride height to the trailer down so that it is level, you know, with the low Pro on the truck and the tall on the trailer. I've taken a little ride height out of it so that it rides level. It will ride smoother, okay? But don't just slap that sucker on there and think you're good to go. You've got to take this arm off, use this piece right here, get it where you want it, and if you get with Timpte or any of your trailer manufacturers, they will give you a ride height measurement. Some of them will do it from the bottom of the frame to the top of the axle. Some of them will give it from the ground to the bottom of the frame. They'll give you different measurement points. Now, I just strictly did it by eyeball, so I'm not going to go into the whole what's the measurement. I put it on level ground and I eyeballed it, and I got my trailer level. And that's where I bent this. I got it close, and then I bent this to where I wanted it. And you know, when I'm empty, these airbags will ride right here when I'm empty. But now loaded, you see it rides up a little bit. Before, when I was loaded, man, the bags were all at the top of the saddle. And like I said, I've already blown two. And then I blew this one when I put the new leveling valve on it. So yeah, one more and I'll have a brand new set on here. But that's, you know, beside the point. So that's the deal on that. And you can buy these in different lengths if you need to go up a little bit. Personally, I think this rod is a perfect length if you have a low Pro tire on a trailer like this 2019 Timpte. And anything taller than that, you really want to shorten that ride height up a little bit, depending on the truck. Now, my other truck is a Western Star with a low Pro 24, that is the perfect tire. You know, a low pro 24 and a tall 22 is the exact same height. So when I put this trailer behind the Western Star, I actually am going to take this off and go ahead and get that at max length if I'm going to pull it for any length of time. But since I'm not, I'm going to leave it like this. But if this truck goes down and goes in the shop and I'm going to be pulling this trailer for 3, 4, 5 weeks at least, then I might go ahead and straighten this thing back up and give it a little bit more ride height to be equal with the truck. But that's, you know, not to get y'all too far in the weeds. My main thing on this video is that is not factory set for level when they hand it to you over the counter. You have to take this arm loose where it's just flopping and use this right here to get your ride height where you want it. Then put the arm back on it. And you'll be good to go. All right. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you.